Hello my friends, come back with us with material about Oligopoly Part 1. Before that, let me introduce ourselves. We are from Group 5 Economic Education Excellent Class and the member is Tika Febriani, study number 29, Novi Puspita Sari, study number 37, Siti Nur Kasanah, study number 38, and Dewi Arsyidah, study number 66.
Okay, first, I will explain the meaning of the oligopoly market. Well, here are two definitions of the oligopoly market. Pindai 2005 defines an oligopoly market as a market in which only a few firms control most of the total production. Products produced by companies in an oligopoly market are homogeneous or similar, and there might be differentiation between the company's products. After I explain the meaning of the oligopoly market, I will describe some of the characteristics of the oligopoly market. Number 1, there are few sellers, companies, and there are several dominant companies. Number 2, the goods produced are homogeneous or differentiated, such as cement, gasoline, oil raw, cigarette, water, etc. Homogeneous goods in the oligopoly market are always interdependent and related to each other. Because if a business actors who dominate the market increase their prices, automatically others also raise the price and vice versa. Number 3, companies have little power to control prices. Number 4, there is an interdependence relationship between one company and another interdependence. The more homogeneous a product is, the bigger it is dependence on policies carried out by the company dominant in the market regarding price. Number 5, odds are being promoted constantly.
In the oligopoly market, there are several models. Number 1, price leadership. Number 2, cornet model. Number 3, stock block model. And the last, Bertrand model. Then, what about the concept and empirical facts?
Concept of duopoly. A duopoly is a market structure in which there are only two sellers or producers. This is the basic form of oligopoly competition. The two players serve multiple buyers and sell competing goods and services. In this market, players have a high strategic dependence among themselves, especially in making business decisions such as pricing and production. There are the duopoly characteristics. First, the market consists of two producers. Both producers serve a large number of buyers, so their bargaining power is high. Second, producers have a high strategic dependence. Strategic actions and decisions by one company have a significant impact on other companies. Third, chances of collusive behavior are high. Since both of them are highly interdependent, they are likely to collude to secure high market profits. Fourth, the level of competition may be fierce. This happens when the two don't collude. Regulators usually keep a close eye on this market to avoid anti-competitive practices. Therefore, the strict supervision of regulators means that the two cannot collude. Fifth, significant monopoly power. Apart from controlling the market supply, the two companies may also adopt a differentiation strategy. As long as each adopts a differentiation strategy, each product will have several loyal customers, presenting significant monopoly power. And sixth, high entry resistance. It can stem from structural constraints, which are inherent in natural characteristics of market, such as economies of scale and control of input and distribution networks. Or, what companies have deliberately built entry barriers such as through low price strategies and brand loyalty. And this is the news that I've got. Quoted from data from the Association of Indonesian Express Delivery Service Companies or Esperindo, the increase in airplane ticket prices began in June 2018. At that time, Garuda and Citylink increased their ticket prices respectively by 14% and 1%. This continued in October 2018. Apart from the two airlines, Lion Air also increased ticket prices by 36%. Meanwhile, in January 2019, it was Sriwijaya Air's turn to increase ticket prices by 51%. On average, the increase in ticket prices in the last 6 months was almost 50% for each airline. So, here is the identity of the markets. Based on data from the Director General of Civil Aviation at the Ministry of Transportation, there are 12 airlines that are registered and operating in Indonesia. However, only about 8 airlines control strategic routes. The rest serve short routes and become pioneer aircraft for remote areas of Indonesia. However, the large operating expenses amid the increasingly fierce competition have forced many airlines to go out of business or be acquired by bigger players, so that only a few airlines are left and are also joined in several large groups. On November 9, 2018, the map of the aviation business in Indonesia became increasingly narrow with Sriwijaya joining the KSO under Citylink. Now, there are only 3 big players flying the Indonesian sky. There are Garuda Group, Lion Group, and Air Asia. This condition has the potential to give rise to oligopoly practices. In fact, there is a tendency towards duopoly, namely market domination by only 2 airline groups. Then, the problem from the news is the increase in ticket prices was spearheaded by the Garuda Group and the Lion Group simultaneously in October. This indicating the possibility that the 2 airlines carried out a collusive practice of uniform pricing, namely the cooperation of producers with other producers to increase prices together. The impact of this price increase resulted in a decrease in the number of passengers. According to the data, the number of domestic air transport passengers in February 2019 was 5.6 million people, or a 18.5% drop from February 2018, which was 6.9 million. Of course, this is because ticket prices are expensive and prospective passengers choose other means of transportation. And the solution from the problem is the increase in domestic ticket prices could be prevented if the market structure in the national aviation industry was not in a duopoly condition. Since the duopoly provides a rather excessive power or power to producers, the solution is to invite competitors so that existing airlines can lower price back to normal.
Number 1. Concept of the Carnot model. The Carnot model is an oligopoly model introduced by Augustin Carnot in 1838. This Carnot model has several characteristics such as the following. Number 1. There is more than one company and the resulting product is homogeneous. Number 2. Companies in the market do not cooperate with each other. Number 3. Companies have market power. Number 4. The number of companies in the market is fixed and doesn't change. Number 5. There is strategic action taken by the company. In this model, each firm treats the output of its competitors as a constant, and all firms decide simultaneously how many products to produce. In this model, the basic assumption is used that each company will try to maximize its profit in the hope that its decisions output will not affect its competitors' decisions. Number 2. Empires fight. Indonesians experience difficult domestic travel due to high price of airplane tickets. Many flights were cancelled because of the low number of passengers, making the transition uneconomical. In this case, the public doesn't have the option of cheap ticket prices offered by other airlines in Indonesia. In Indonesia, Garuda Indonesia and Lion Air dominate domestic flights. The scarcity of domestic flights often made the two airlines able to determine ticket price. The determination of ticket price without business competition from other airlines includes unfair competition. Direct market structure shows an ineffective and inefficient market. Duopoly in the aviation industry. Explanation of the strategy taken by Garuda Indonesia and Lion Air by cutting ticket prices according to the number of passengers they have. The two airlines determine a large number of flights so that the number will be adjusted in determining the ticket price for their cheap airline service so that they can dominate the entire market. Number 3. Identification of empires facts. The two airlines practice oligopoly using the Carnot model because in the empirical facts it is explained that Garuda Indonesia and Lion Air are taking strategic actions by cutting ticket prices according to the number of passengers they have. In this case, the two airlines are trying to maximize their profit in the hope that the decision's output will not affect its competitors. Okay, I will explain problem and solution from the empires facts. The problem in the news is that both Garuda Indonesia and Lion Air have practiced oligopoly by cutting ticket prices according to the number of passengers. This strategy was due to the scarcity of domestic flights offers, so that the two airlines decide on a strategy by increasing domestic flights prices without going through a market mechanism. This causes unfair competition and inefficient and ineffective market structures. Both airlines use Carnot and Veteran, where the two airlines determine the large number of flights so that the number will be adjusted in determining the ticket prices for the cheap airline service so that they can control the entire market. Solution from the problem. In this case, the government should provide a policy for both airlines to impose limits on ticket prices that are too high. In addition, these two airlines must also share the aviation market by determining ticket prices that are expensive, not cheap at the same time, so that consumers do not decrease in the number of domestic flights.
The concept of Rifter model. Rifter's oligopoly model is also called price setting because what the company determines is price. With the assumption that the goods produced by the company are homogeneous, consumers will choose cheaper goods. Therefore, if the two firms charge different price, then the firm that charges the lower price will dominate the market, so the firm with the higher price will not sell anything. If the company sets the same price, consumer will not call its company to buy the product, so that each company will supply half of market. Because our customer will buy from the company that charges the lower price, there will be a new price war that will end if the price charged by each company is equal to marginal cost, where none of the companies will want to reduce or increase the price because the economic profit is already zero. Because price equal to marginal cost, the industrial output will be the same as the social efficient level as in a perfectly competitive market, and there is no debt loss. And the next is empirical fact. An example of the oligopoly market is the Honda and Yamaha motorcycle industry. PT Astana Motor or AHM launched PCX in 2012. Its CBU status from Thailand. 3 years later, on February 10, 2015, to be prices. Yamaha launched NMAX in Indonesia. At the time, the price of NMAX was much cheaper than PCX because of its status as a domestic assembly. As a result, Yamaha NMAX stayed alone in the segment, but sales continued to increase every year. Seeing this, at the end of 2017, AHM launched a KEL05 PCX 150, whose price dropped dramatically to compete with NMAX. This ending news written by Ignatius Febriani on Friday, June 21, 2019. It can be seen empirically if a company charges low prices, the consumer will fill the market. As a result, other companies will lower their price to combat and grab market share. However, the two companies are not competing with each other to lower their price until the price charged by each firm is equal to marginal cost, or experiences zero economic profit. However, the company only lowered its price once, and the solution on the empirical effect is Honda and Yamaha companies are expected to maintain and implement appropriate differentiation strategies in an effort to increase consumer decision in purchasing Honda and Yamaha motorbikes. Products are the most considered by consumers, so companies need to maintain and improve differentiation strategies through product by creating products that are distinctive, have an advantage or competitor, and innovate in product design to set trends and create new trends in society. Some things that can be done to implement this differentiation strategy are: number 1, the quality, adjust price with product quality. Number 2, product, creating different products from competitors. Number 3, promotion, with targeted promotion and realize image, forming a positive image by avoiding fraud to consumers.
And the next empirical fact. HP prepares cheap Android smartphone to compete with Galaxy Note 3. Next week, HP is alleged to be launching a device that resembles the Galaxy Note 3 by Samsung. The device which is likely to be included in the large-screen smartphone category will be priced at $200 or around 2.4 million rupiah. This price is cheaper than the Galaxy Note 3, which is priced at $700, equivalent to 8.8 million rupiah. The Android Authority website launched that HP has made substantial cuts in the cost of producing its product so that the new device can be marketed at affordable price. In December, the news of a device with a 6-inch screen from HP has surfaced. Carrying the name HP SIG voice tip appeared on the Bluetooth SIG site in the certification application process. The same device also appeared on the GFX Printmarks site last November. The specifications that appear regarding the handset include using a screen with a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels, a Marvell quad-core 1 GHz processor, and Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean. HP itself has actually released a smartphone device called the HP Pre-3. However, the device is only limited to the United States and certain countries in Europe. Based on the news from Denny Mahardi on January 13, 2014, we can conclude that the two companies are included in the oligopoly market and including the Bertrand model. The HP company is trying to launch their latest product, the smartphone that will compete with the Samsung company, with price that can be said to be very cheap for from Samsung product, namely the Galaxy Note 3. The latest HP SIG voice tap product is expected to sell well in the market. From the news, our group gives the solution. Both Samsung and HP companies must maintain and implement appropriate differentiation strategies in an effort to improve consumer decision in smartphone purchase. Products are the things most considered by consumers, so companies need to maintain and improve differentiation strategies through product by creating products that are distinctive, have advantage over competitors, and innovate in the product design to match trend and create new trend in society.
That's all from us. We apologize if there are many wrong words and understanding. Thank you for watching and see you later.